Have you ever driven over a highway bridge and couldn't help but look below? Or stood on a shoreline's rocky ridge just to watch the water flow? And count yourself as one of the few with a different set of dreams, the kind that keeps you up at night, 'cause you can't wait to get to that stream. It's more than a river. It's more than the water flowing or where it's going. It's the grip on the paddle and the shit in the saddle, the V in the boulders and the lean in the shoulders. When you reach for the eddy, it doesn't get better than this. Yes, it's more, so much more than a river.
Hey everybody, welcome. We are live with Cross Currents Leadership, live on Facebook, Substack, and YouTube for just 15 minutes every Sunday and Wednesday night here over the winter, as we are talking to leaders across paddle sports and outdoor recreation and getting you those golden nuggets that are going to help you level up your leadership in 2026. Tonight, we are so privileged. I'm so lucky to have Lili Colby from Mustang Survival on here with me. Lili is a friend and a mentor and someone I greatly respect. She is a powerhouse, multifaceted leader across multiple water sports. She's got a background as a whitewater open boater. She's a lifelong sailor. She was the owner of MTI, which has now become part of Mustang Survival. And serves on the NASBLA Paddle Sports Committee, serves on the Canadian Safe Boating Council, serves on the Paddle Sports Trade Coalition Board. She's bringing leadership across our industry in ways that you guys probably never see. So I am just so lucky to have you here with me tonight, Lili. Thank you for making time.
Hey, thanks a lot. I am really glad to be here. I was in Vancouver at the Mustang Survival headquarters just last week. And so, the United got me to Logan last night and home by 1 o'clock in the morning. And here I am.
Here you are, going strong. Well, I know you have a passion for paddler education and paddler safety. And so our topic tonight is so relevant. We're talking about when is the right time, when is it appropriate to make that decision tree judgment call as a paddler to wear an inflatable PFD. And I know that there's so many factors we have to think through. Can we start with product and what are the decisions we have to know and make about the product?
Sure. So I am actually wearing an inflatable life jacket right now. I know it kind of looks like just a pullover foam jacket. It's actually a dual buoyancy, so it's part foam and with a backup of inflation. And so there are so many different types of inflatables out there on the market, and how to make sense of it. One of the things that I like going around the country to different boat shows is talking about how to take care of inflatable life jackets. Because number one, there's a product responsibility. There's 2 R's about using inflatables for boating. Mm-hmm. One is the regulations, and then the other R is the product responsibility. Because an inflatable life jacket, if you think of it, pretend it's a human, okay? So you've got a CO2 cylinder, that's the muscle, okay? This is the gas, the CO2 is gonna be filling a bladder inside.
Yeah.
The bladder is the lungs. Mm-hmm. And the mechanism, so I'll show you an example of Hamar. So the mechanism that converts the muscle into the lungs, I like to call the brain. And there's lots of different choices out there, different brains. And for paddlers, mostly we're going to be recommending the brain, which you are going to be using your own decision to manually pull the toggle. Because foam life jackets are super simple, okay?
Right.
You've got what we call in the biz inherently buoyant. Okay, so there's foam inside, and for different kind of paddling, you might have high flotation, you might have super low flotation. You know, what's that balance of the flotation, your mobility, your comfort. But really, as long as you get the right size, so you know, you've got the kid's size, the right size for the kid's weight, an adult, you've got the right size for an adult. As long as you zip it up, clip it up, when you get into the water, float in the water, the foam is there. So there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing to pull. There's no muscle to engage. The muscle's already built into the foam to support you in the water. Now, but there's no guarantee that a foam life jacket, especially type 3 or a level 70, is going to float you face up. It's not guaranteed to do that. It may be floating you face down.
Yeah, which is not as helpful. Not so helpful.
You know, you're whitewater rafting, you got a giant collar, but most recreational paddlers are not paddling with a giant collar to turn you face up. What's wonderful about an inflatable life jacket is that once you deploy this sucker, this is going to float you face up. So I'm just going to demonstrate right here, live. I'm going to pull. Okay. Yep. Okay. Woo! So I've got this beautiful Quasimodo look on the back. Can you see that?
Yep. We see the hump.
Oh, and I've got all this extra. This is like over 20 pounds of flotation now. It goes from 7 pounds of flotation, very minimal. So super comfortable to use.
Right.
I'm going to find my oral tube, which is right here. And I'm going to let the air out because this is absolutely going to float me face up.
Right.
Okay. But can we shift to regulations?
Yeah, let's talk about the regulations. Talk about the federal regulations so we know this is how we need to think about inflatables from a regulatory standpoint nationwide.
Okay. And this is actually printed as part of the Coast Guard stamp on the inflatable life jackets. So this device, which is called the Chimera, it's very unique. It's that dual inflatable. So now you press all the air out and opening up from the bottom. Okay, I used my muscle. There's my little cylinder. I'm going to have to get a rearm kit now. If they're not that expensive, it's like $16. And that will come with what I need to rearm this device. So that's one of the product responsibilities that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can choose on all inflatables to blow this up orally. Okay. But it's not your first choice, but you do want to know where your oral tube is on your device. And
that's your backup plan.
This is how you get the air out. The cap is actually designed to turn upside down and express the air out. So more, automatics are more expensive rearm kits, and we don't recommend typically an automatic device for paddle sports. And so, Andrea, can you think why you might not?
Well, look, I just know when I'm going down the river, I'm frequently getting splashed. I mean, that's part of the fun of the sport, is that I'm getting submerged in a lot of situations where I don't want my life jacket to suddenly deploy.
Right. So I'm going to put on another. This is we like to call it a yoke style inflatable. So I'm wearing it, clipping it on.
Yeah. And that's a very strappy life jacket. I mean, if I'm in a river situation, that's going to be an entanglement hazard. So
when you look at the restrictions, and the new harmonized label is it's got this great icon showing a whitewater paddler with a big slash through it. You do not want to wear an inflatable on moving water situations because it's too much of a risk for snagging.
Yeah.
And moving water. Okay. So that was determined that's dangerous. The other thing about regulations, number one, there's an age limit. Okay. So and it says it right on the stamp, 16 and older. Now I know when my kid was under 16, I knew he probably had the wherewithal to be able to inflate it. But that decision was made 16 and older. And I do see that all the time on social media.
If you make the wrong judgment call, it's a really expensive ticket.
Well, if you don't inflate it, it's not going to support you in the water. This is the key about maintenance and checking that you are actually ready to, if you're good to go, if you're actually armed. So for example, this is a really popular belt pack, but I can't tell at a glance from the outside if I'm armed. Okay, this belt pack is great because I can tell at a glance that it's armed. And it's a little bit more expensive, consequently, but I can tell at a glance that it's armed, and I can't get a false read. That cylinder is either in with the bayonet end or out. This one, so I can't tell if it's armed, and when so I have to open it up. Okay, and what is missing here? The muzzle. Okay, so now I have, let me change this cylinder. This cylinder, I actually used in a demo last week at the Seattle Boat Show. And there's a hole in the end. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's the number one thing you want to check for inflatables. Is there any muscle in your cylinder? There's no gas in here. There's a hole. There's no gas. I can take this, and this is true of this inflator mechanism, of this brain, not just Mustang, other devices, Onyx out there. I mean, West Marine brand, anyone that has this kind of inflator system, this kind of, it's very simple. There's a green pin that holds the lever arm on. I can twist that in tight, but there's no gas in the cylinder. Right. That's why this belt pack is more expensive. One reason other than the window is that
because it gives you a true yet red or green.
With this one, with its bayonet end, you are either red or green. There is no false indicator. You know at a glance if you're armed and ready to go. You've got to check that window. You've got to check that indicator. That is so important. So
all right. So I feel like we've bounced around a little bit. I want to get back to regulations because I know you had a couple of quick points we had to make sure and hit. One was the age limit. Yeah. One was the age limit that you got to be 16 or older to wear it. The other, isn't there a weight limit?
There's a weight limit. And so 88 pounds or 90 pounds, depending on whether it's a harmonized device with the old levels or more. So you can't be a super small, skinny person, I guess, small.
Right. And then the third thing was activity, right?
And activity. So like no whitewater, you're going to be wanting to check no towables. Again, the little icon, no water skiing with it. So you want to be aware of these restrictions. Some of them you have to wear them.
Right.
So
now
there are
some of the places where it is good.
Thought that goes in to wearing an inflatable, but it's a great choice when it's really hot climate. This is so much more comfortable. And if I'm going to be wearing it versus, it's so hot, I don't want to wear this, it's too bulky. A lot of people really hate the bulk of a foam life jacket. They really object to it. This is
so if I'm on a SUP on flat water.
Flat water conditions is brilliant. So SUP paddlers love the belt packs. And in fact, the SUP paddlers kind of educated canoeists and kayakers who are doing flat water paddling. The device is designed to be worn in front of your body. I know everyone puts them around to the back, but that's actually, and I get that if you're getting on top of a SUP board, you don't want the belt in the way, but it's really designed to be worn in front. And if they're so small, and this version comes with pockets, I can put my cell phone in here. I can put my lip balm in here. This is called a essentialist. I can carry my essential stuff. And you wear it just in front and you're sitting there paddling. I'm easy breezy. I'm nice and cool. If it's 90 degrees, I'm more likely to wear the life jacket because
now. And you told me about another scenario where if I'm on a fishing kayak offshore.
Okay,
talk to me about that scenario.
I'm going to talk to you about that. So, in most cases. So we have a brand new feature on the Mustang Survival website, which is called a PFD Finder, which is brilliant. We just launched it. And so it's like perfect timing to do this podcast. And I tested it.
I pulled it up so you can see it. It's linked.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So you go through, do you want to click it? You want to click it while we go through it? Can you show it live, or will it?
I can't show it live, but
okay. So I'll just tell you.
That.
So I tested it to make sure it actually works. For which inflatables are appropriate for paddle sports. So first, I clicked that I'm an adult. Okay. Next question was, are you going to be in or out of the water? I said, yep, I'm paddling. I'm probably going to be in and out of the water. Okay. Next question. What's your activity? And then I could select paddling. So it gives you like sailing, fishing, blah, blah, paddling. And then the last question is, are you a strong swimmer? And I'm like, yes, I'm a strong swimmer. So I click that because that's the other warning on here. The regulation is that this is to be used. The number one, not recommended for for non-swimmers, for weak, sorry, not weak, where I don't have my glasses on, for weak or non-swimmers. Number one little restriction on here. So, are you strong? Yes, I am. And voila, it recommended this inflatable, which is the manual MIT 70. It recommended the blue belt pack. It recommended this guy.
And what did we decide for offshore kayak fishermen?
Well, so here's the deal. Offshore, there's a concern that you got a lot going on the boat. You've got a lot of very expensive tackle, and you may have the fish of a lifetime. And now you're pulled into the water and you're offshore, and okay, I'm going to be a little sexist. That guy is out there by himself. I have had women walk up to me at like Cornucopia and say, I want an automatic for my husband or my boyfriend or whatever, my father.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust him to pull it.
Oh, he's a little busy trying to hold the fish.
He's gonna be like risking his life for the fish and not thinking about. So in that case, again, I'm gonna be so much safer if I choose to wear the device.
Right.
And so hey, if I'm out there offshore and I get an accidental inflation because I'm on the automatic water, on automatic device, it got too wet and now it inflates. Well, oh well. So mostly for paddle sports, you're going to recommend manual pull. You're making the choice. I'm in trouble. Oof, I'm going to pull this.
And you're going to recommend for flat water. You're going to recommend for things that are not so splashy. Because
with manual, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's splashy. It doesn't go a manual device. And what I mean by that is that you're going to pull the cord.
Right.
And the cord, the bottom of it actually does say jerk, which can make a lot of jokes about that.
Yeah.
But you need to choose the right one. Check out the PFD finder. It's pretty cool. And it asks you to put your email at the end, and it will email you the decision that it makes for you. You can see it on the website. It will actually show you the different products. So it will boil down all our millions of choices of different awesome inflatables down to the choices for your specific activity. And then it will email you that list. And that doesn't automatically enter you on our email list. It's just a one-time only email that you register. So don't worry, we're not going to email you every week after you do that. So yeah.
Well, and so to that end, I know we've got some ACA instructors. I know we've got some Coast Guard Auxiliary watching us tonight. You guys maybe make this PFD finder part of your standard tools that you're using with your classes so that they can become familiar with the different styles of life jackets.
Yeah. The other thing, we've got a great resources area on the Mustang Survival website. The other thing we have, if you go to PFD inspection and maintenance, you can download an inspection checklist. And this will go over all the things you need to inspect in an annual inspection of the life jacket, just to make sure it's in good condition. Once a year, it's a good idea to do that. And then you can make a note of it. Every inflatable life jacket has a log that's included. It's either on a tag or printed on the bladder. And you can write down when you inspected it, when you put in a new cylinder. So you can remember actually when you tested it, you want to pressure test the bladder once a year to make sure it's holding air. It's that product responsibility that comes with an inflatable.
Yep.
So,
well,
product
we have,
responsibility
as we
and-
anticipated, Lily, we have gotten carried away and gone over.
Carried
So
away,
I'm gonna need to wrap this up, y'all. We have thanks. Please tell Lily how excited we are and thank her for coming on tonight. Wednesday night, we've got a guest that is equally exciting. Les Duncan from the Outdoor Foundation is going to come on and talk to me about some of the changing demographics of paddle sports and how we can reach out in our communities and be a part of that change. And I want to really take a moment and thank everybody who's following Cross Currents Leadership on all channels. Your love and support means the world to me. It's making a difference in what we're doing here. And some of you have figured out the secret hack that when you sign up on our Substack, you get all the email updates. And a few of you have even chosen, it just warms the cockles of my heart. You have chosen to upgrade from the free subscription to actually support our work here and then keep me caffeinated. That's a lovely, lovely thing. And I really appreciate you all.
Okay.
So thank you,
ready?
Lily.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. I like to end with a bang.
Very nice. See you everybody Wednesday. Bye.